Good day, and welcome to a new series from TGNA. It's been a long time since I've recorded any videos here for YouTube, and our podcast is essentially dead in the water, but that's okay. We're here to bring some new content, hopefully something you haven't seen too much of before. There's not a ton of content out there for Terra Invicta online. There's some really good, definitely people that are better than me, but with a new update that's out last week on the 27th. We're at 0.4.9, getting close to a full release. This is a game I absolutely adore. It has so much going for it. It is an absolute bear of a game. I hope that you will all bear with me in playing it together. We're going to start a new game here. We're going to do everything totally pretty much vanilla start. So I'll give a small background on the game, and I'll probably explain a little bit as we go along. Again, I'm really not an expert on this game or anything like that. I do have some time into it to learn because there is an absolute lot to learn from this game. But the basic premise is Earth is going to be invaded by some aliens. They show up. They're very, I guess, secretive about how they're going to invade the Earth, how they're going to take over. They clearly do not want to just outright destroy and eliminate humanity. No one at the beginning really knows exactly what they want to do, but they are coming to take over the Earth. There are 8 different factions that you can play here, right? Ranging from the most extreme in terms of going against the aliens, which is Humanity First, who look to exterminate the aliens, all the way up to the servants, who are there to help the aliens take over Earth. And there's a lot of flavor that goes along with that. It's great. We're going to play the Resistance, which is kind of like the beginning. Like you notice here, the tutorial says enable tutorial, resistance only. So the tutorial is, the basic premise of the game is like you kind of want a middle of the road, get rid of the aliens, don't let them invade. Like, we like our planet, thank you very much, go find someone else to screw with. But maybe not absolutely annihilate them. You know, maybe hold off on the genocide. A lot of people could argue with that. Anyway, you can play any of these factions. It's awesome. So you have the Resistance, who I'm gonna play as here. We're gonna do this playthrough with, where your goal is just resist the aliens, stop them from taking over the Earth, kick them the hell out of our solar system. You have the Humanity First, like I said, who want to genocide the aliens, essentially. You have like one step above the Resistance, which is you want to cooperate with the aliens. That's the Academy. They are let's convince the aliens we're equals and that we should, like, work together to make the solar system a safer place. In the middle ground of everything, you have 2, I will call orthogonal factions, right? Where they don't really fit into the fight or cooperate or anything like that. You have Project Exodus, who want to nope the hell out and go colonize another solar system, take humanity off planet, and just say, this situation sucks, we're going to go somewhere else. Then you have the Initiative, that's the exploit here. They just want to exploit the whole scenario to help themselves. So they might be the most fun faction, to be honest with you. I did play as them once. I didn't do a whole playthrough, but it's like, it's literally the Illuminati. Like, the aliens are coming, we don't care, how do we make a buck off this? It's absolutely hilarious, and the flavor along the way is just incredible. Then you have the Protectorate, who want to, they call it appease, but basically they want to say, you know what, aliens, you're probably right, humanity needs to be controlled, let us control ourselves. And then you have the Servants, who are just there to help the aliens do whatever it is the aliens want to do. They don't care, they think the aliens are gods, and they want to help them. So that's the basic premise about, like, the different factions you can play as. Like I said, we'll be playing the Resistance. There's 3 phases to this game, right? there's the first phase, which is kind of like a simulation of a geopolitical conspiracy where these different factions vie for influence and control of the various world governments. Then there is the industrialization of space phase, where you work to build infrastructure and gather resources in space in order to support the final phase, which is fighting the aliens in space, in the outer planets and the Kuiper Belt, and destroying whatever infrastructure they have built up. So those are like the three phases to the game. You notice they have here start the long campaign, start accelerated campaign. Essentially, the long campaign is, the kind of normal experience. The developers of this game were the people who made the Long War mod for XCOM, which is a great game. We talked about it on the TGNA podcast. If you want to find that episode, I'll see if I can leave a comment or a link in the comments about which episode we talk about XCOM in. But the accelerated campaign kind of speeds everything up so that you don't have to spend several hours playing the game before you get to space. A lot of people are super interested. There's a whole deep mechanic for building ships and designing ships and getting into space and fighting in space. It's an insane amount of information. So before I keep rambling anymore, because we're probably already 5 minutes in, let's go ahead and get started.
We remember the day the stars answered, the day we learned we were not alone. As a familiar sun rose on an unfamiliar universe, some of us saw wondrous possibility and others existential danger. The astronomers had insisted that the bright streak in the sky was no natural phenomenon. Most of us didn't really believe them until it burned through our atmosphere and crashed in a remote region, leaving only wreckage and uncertainty. In our ignorance, we fractured, taking refuge in our most primal emotions. Each of us saw what we wanted to see. Everyone loves heroes, depends on them, to save us from evil, lead us through darkness. Problem is, real heroes are always ignored. What no one understands is that being shot at is easy. The hard part is convincing someone they're drowning before it's too damn late.
What a great intro. I love that. I watch it every time. So, this is super interesting right off the bat. So that you hear in the little intro video there, they say the UFO crashes in a remote area, and almost all the time. So first of all, we'll zoom out. This is the main map of the game, just a great representation of Earth, right? The majority of times that I've played this game, you see the spaceship crash, this intro spaceship here crash in either like Russia, like Siberia area, northern or western China, maybe Mongolia. Every once in a while I see it crash in like northern Canada, right? The Northwest Territories or something like that. I think I saw it crash in Central Africa once. This time it crashed in Berlin. Super interesting. Again, this is a new patch at 0.4.9. So yeah, basically the story for this game so far that they give you to go on is aliens are here. There was a spacecraft that crashed in Germany in this case, and an alien is out there in the wild.
Greetings, Commander. I am pleased to report the Council has appointed you leader of our organization. I am Fiona Iowade, your Chief of Staff. While most of the world is reacting with fascination at the arrival of an alien species on Earth, we represent a small group who believes the aliens' crash landing and disappearance may signify a potential threat. We intend to build an international organization capable of investigating and, if necessary, combating any danger aliens may pose.
Okay, so this is your introduction here. So Fiona here is you find some flavor out from her if you read around the game It's supposed to be like a former like SAS operative or something like that. Um, if you whatever faction you play as, the main person is your chief of staff, and you're the commander, right? Or whatever they choose, and whoever the main person is for the other factions leads their faction. So, like, if we were playing Humanity First or the Protectorate or something like that, Fiona would be in charge of the Resistance. But since we're playing, they're our chief of staff. So, um, let's get started. They recommend going to investigate the crash immediately. I don't necessarily think that that is the best course of action right off the bat. So, we'll look at the map here, right? You can see the whole world, every country is represented, right? And if you look, let's take here, Italy's right here. Uh, each country is represented in various different ways. So for control, each country is broken down into a number of control points that your faction has influence or control over, right? Depending on the size of the economy, its GDP primarily, it will depend on how many control points each country has. So, for instance, Italy's a pretty decently sized country. Its economy, they have their GDP at just north of $2.5 trillion. They have 4 control points, right? The United States is bigger. It's the biggest economy in the world, kind of. Their economy is $22 trillion, and so they have 6 control points. Right, and you can see, depending on the type of government they have, will determine the control points they have. So, like in the United States, you have the financial sector, identity blocks, corporations, mass media, legislature, and executive. Everything has mostly legislative and executive. There are some tiny countries, like let's go down here. I'll bet Costa Rica. Okay, they actually have 2. One of these, here we go, Honduras only has 1, it's just the executive. So if a country only has 1, it's just going to be the executive. If we go over to China, it's going to look a little different because they are not a democracy. They are authoritarian. They're listed here as authoritarian, but they're an authoritarian structure. So they have their defense sector. Honestly, that should probably be in the U.S., the defense industries. Bureaucracy, national industries, security apparatus, party, and executive, right? And we go to India, kind of more in the middle, identity blocks, corporations, religion, legislature, and executive. So you can kind of count on there being a legislature. Even some more totalitarian regimes have something resembling a legislature. Like you look at Russia here, they actually don't, but they have, you can tell, authoritarian level, very similar control points, but their economies, just shy of $4 trillion. So they get 4 control points. I think Japan also has 4. So the bigger the economy, the harder it is to control, right? There's a lot of information here. I'll probably explain all of this at some point. For right now, the 2 most important to understand are this, which is public opinion. What people in the countries think the response to the aliens should be. Most of the time, the academy has the largest role in most countries. And if you look at that here, that's the exact case in Japan. Cooperate with the aliens. The aliens show up. We don't really know what's going on, so we should try and be their friend, right? That seems pretty logical. And so that tends to be the biggest start for most countries. Like we look at here, France, they actually have, interesting, Project Exodus has the biggest role. I think they've randomized this more because it was pretty solidly like this, maybe not this ridiculous. The academy has the largest role there. The initiative here. Is there anywhere that has a large role? Humanity First has a huge role in India. I mean, we kind of got screwed here, I'm not gonna lie. Where no country has a huge role. No big country has a huge role for the resistance. Did I miss it in Japan? No. About Australia? No. Indonesia? No. Malaysia? No. Jeez. Yeah, we're kind of getting screwed here as the resistance. It just bounced around. So, anyway, the reason public opinion is so important when you start is because that's going to make it easier for you to influence and control the various control points here. And that makes sense logically, right? So how do we do this? Well, we have 2 counselors to start with here. We can get up to 6 eventually. We can start out, we can get up to 4. You research, there's some technologies out there that allow you to get a 5th and a 6th. We're going to check the counselors. So at the beginning of the game, persuasion is the most important stat. It's not good for us here. You want somebody with 8 or 9 persuasion. I'll say if it's really great, you can actually get 10 persuasion if you find a counselor that starts with 9 and they have enough experience here to level up. So we only have 2 counselors with 5. I mean, overall, these are pretty strong counselors, to be honest with you. This guy's pretty good. He's got pretty high investigation and espionage. And Akari here is pretty good with pretty good investigation, espionage, and command. So, and then also he's 4 administration. That's pretty nice. Some of these stats, persuasion, command, and administration, allow you to control more countries. We're actually capped, right? So we have a total of 148 control point that we're allowed to control. Each control point individually is worth 34 in the US, right? And that's pretty interesting. So the basic premise to this game is that there are 4 major starts that you can look at in this game, because the early game is about controlling superpowers, and really the whole game is at first controlling superpowers on Earth to springboard you into space. And those 4 superpowers are the US, the EU, China, and India. India is the worst of the bunch at the start of the game, but can probably become the absolute best powerhouse. The problem is at the start of the game, its GDP per capita is $7,000, whereas China's is 18, the EU's is 47, and the US is 66. And that is a huge, huge determining factor of the various resources that you'll be able to put to use into space. So, I don't know what we're going to go for right now, because normally one of these has a decent role for your faction. And it doesn't look like any of them do for the... I mean, honestly, China might be the best bet. But first, we need to take a look at our counselors. So in addition to the raw stats that you have right here, persuasion, investigation, espionage, so on and so forth, there are... And this is fantastic, I think. Let's look at all these. There are different traits that you can have that give you potentially a better start than... or more help and a better counselor than you would otherwise have. So family ties is really good here for US. We might go with the US because he gets +1 persuasion in the US, right? Demagogue is not good. We do get extra influence from that, but that's -6 espionage is terrible when detected by other counselors. Government is good. We could probably remove this, I think. No, it doesn't say we can. Quick Learner is fantastic because normally it costs 26 XP to level up. Now it's 16. That's huge. And Reformer, that's okay. That's funny that he gets this and this. I would like to remove... we might dump him. You can always dump your counselors, right? But realistically, what I thought was terrible will actually work out just fine because we can afford to purchase this org right here. So another big thing to look at is you can add organizations to your counselors to make them a lot better. And controlling orgs, like when I talk to people who struggle with this game, I think the #1 thing that they struggle with is choosing orgs correctly. There's probably gonna be someone out there who tells me I'm wrong with this, but I think we're just gonna be fine with this guy in persuasion. Like, we're going to get another counselor with higher persuasion, like this one here maybe, or maybe Kiko down here. I don't know. We'll have to look at these better eventually. I might recruit one now because we get extra influence income right now, but we might be okay to be able to take the US because we can add this in here. We get 1 persuasion there. We can level him up immediately to get 6 and then 7 persuasion. and then we can level him up again quickly, because it'll only take 16. He'll still have 10. He'll be able to get 8 very quickly, and we'll be able to take Canada and probably Mexico fast enough that we'll be able to get someone with higher persuasion fast enough to get the US in a reasonable amount of time. I think we're going to do that. So we're just going to, right off the bat, take that. And we're going to augment him with some extra persuasion there. So he still has 10 left. And then now Akari here, eminent, that's -2. See, that stinks, but extra influence. I thought we had a ton of influence here. Ethical, +1 persuasions where stability is 3.5 or less, but can't assassinate. Well, that's fine. Well, she does have decent espionage, though. Conspiracy theorist, I love that one. -1 influence. It's not great, though. And reformers, so 2 reformers. I think we're going to keep her. I don't know if we pump persuasion on her, however. I don't think we do. I think we're going to pump admin right away on her twice. Because we need somebody with good admin. You always need somebody with good admin. Ideally, one of these people would actually have like decent science, and they don't. Since we get 20 income or 20 influence income already, well, we don't have 60, so I don't know. Let's look at Jinshu here. Beloved. Pariah. Influence. He costs 60 is the problem, so we can recruit him for the second turn. Undercover +1 X. Media darling. What's this? Monthly income 7. Indulgent. Aware. Expert 2. I feel like I want to recruit her because she will pay for herself. She comes with 8 persuasion off the start. She might come with enough experience to get that up to 9. This might be I recruit her now and she'll pay for herself in 3 turns. I think that's just a solid. So not quite, but I mean, it won't be long before I get that. Do I? This is 20. So this pays for itself in 4 turns. Sure. So, like I said, we don't need to, go investigate that right off the bat. So, what do I have?
Ready to go.
You've got 8. You don't have Control Nation, though. I should have fucking looked for that. That was pretty dumb. Yeah, I should have looked for that. That was pretty dumb. Someone out there is like, Frank, what are you doing? But you know what? You do have public campaign. So we'll get you started in Canada. So public campaign is exactly what it sounds like. You increase the public opinion of your faction's ideas in a nation. So we're going to slug her in there.
I will try to sway the public.
And get her. She's got a 90% chance to increase that. She rolls right for it. You can spend various resources, like with this, for public campaign, extra money increases your chance of success, right? We only have 20 money, so we can't really do too much there. That's fine. Akari, and different things, different resources go to different missions. So for instance, you see right here at the bottom, it says gain an open control point in a nation, spend influence, you use persuasion. So we're going to try, we don't have like any chance on a 5 persuasion to make this happen, but we do have a chance, a decent chance at public opinion.
I will tell our story.
7 persuasion might get it done. Not really. 13%. Well, what about Kazakhstan? Well, 72% on Kazakhstan. So Kazakhstan seems like a weird choice when I jump right from Canada to Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is really important because it gives us a lot of what's called boost, which represents your faction's ability to move stuff from Earth to low Earth orbit. Kazakhstan has the highest boost in the game. There's a strategy out there where you actually take control of Kazakhstan and you coup d'etat it, which is a specific mission you can do. That breaks its integration into the Eurasian Union here. This is a federation. Federations split resources among its members. So even though, like you can see, Kazakhstan creates 2.5 boost per month, this little rocket ship right here, the Eurasian Union gets 0.3 of that. So if we take control of it, we won't get all of that boost. But I think we're still just, we're going to get the public campaign going in Canada first, and we'll take Kazakhstan. We might abandon something here at some point. So let's get started. Oh, it's so much fun. Alright, so what do we do here? Do we remain in the shadows and get ops? Do we quietly steer? So we want, I think we want this one here, quietly steer support to the resistance. You get a little bit of ops and you get influence, and a public opinion boost is really important for us because that generates more influence. The more public opinion you have in bigger countries, the more influence you have.
We believe we can join them
Academy.
as brothers and sisters if we only convince them we are worthy.
That sums up what they want. Let's be friends with the aliens. They seem cool. So after that event there, right at the beginning, if you choose to deliver your manifesto there and get more influence, it exposes information to you about everybody else. So only the Academy chose to do that.
The people will come to our side.
Which is interesting. So we succeeded on
hold
one
no
roll
sway in
and
their
we failed
minds.
on another. And good chance here on this one. All nations gain 1 cohesion. Cohesion's something I will talk about.
We were unable to establish control.
Interesting. So, select management team. I think I think personally that the influence income lobbyists and influencers is the best one here. 15 research a month is pointless. We actually have to do research. I totally forgot about that. 15 research a month is totally pointless. By the mid-game, you're going to be in the thousands. 50 ops is nice at the beginning. That can be a huge help, but it's not super important. And 10 money is also useless. Eventually, we'll be talking in hundreds and thousands, not tens. But 3 influence income is pretty good at any stage of the game. So we're actually going to go to, yeah, we don't want to do audience research here. Let's do mission to space. So the way technology works is, and we're going to look at the tech tree in a little bit here, but the way technology works, there are 3 global technologies being researched at any given time. Whoever contributes the most to each technology gets to choose the next one from the tech tree. There are also engineering projects. So this represents the idea that humanity researches something, and these projects down here represent your faction's ability to apply that to something to help you. The tech tree is massive. I'm not going to go through it right now, but this is the tech tree. It is absolutely monstrous. There's, you know, a ton, and that's not even the full tree. Those are just the global technologies. If we look at the full tree, look at that, it even slows my computer down. You can see what I mean, where it's just like, you know, it just goes on and on and on and on. There's probably 300 techs in here. Anyway, what's important for us right now is to get control of at least one of these right off the bat here, and hope that whoever wins the other 2 techs doesn't choose something absolutely asinine. They probably will. Nobody took control. Interesting.
We'll be running this place in no time.
Where to? Making our case.
Do you have a shot at
Where do you
Canada
need?
now? Still only 28%, so we're still going to go for Kazakhstan here. And I do apologize. This is super slow for people who might be familiar with this
We've
game.
moved the
This
needle.
isn't super popular yet, so I just, I don't want people to be confused as to
Public
why I'm
opinion
clicking
is
certain
moving in our
buttons
direction.
if they've never seen this game before. By the way, we start
We're
in
taking
October or September, I think, of 2022. So the world is as it was then. So that's just an important point to know. Like, Russia and Ukraine are still at war. I mean, they're still at war now, but it's represented here correctly in the game. For some people, Palestine is represented as a country, federated with Israel. Interestingly, basically showing the thing, but they're not at war, which I guess you would consider that now. I don't think there's any. India and Pakistan are at war, kind of, not really right now, but there's nothing going on there. It is interesting though that they have the troops stationed right on each other's borders. But we did get, regardless of geopolitical events today, we did get control of a control point in Kazakhstan. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to run the spoils priority. So this is what you do with each country for the most part. You use its influence, you use your influence to direct its government to do different things. Spoils gives you money. Not in a good way. You basically steal from the country. But we are broke, and we need as much money as possible to get really good organizations. Alright, so we're going to bump your persuasion up so that we continue, and then we're going to look to see, can we get a 9? No. Do you have control nation? You do. You're still there, so we're going to take you. We're probably going to drop this counselor eventually, but it's totally worth it to just pick her up, have another 8 persuasion counselor to try and take different countries. So let's see, can you take the second control point in Kazakhstan? We're going to try.
Our people in place.
No one else can take a control
Ready
point
for orders.
if you the
Acknowledged.
executive control point in Kazakhstan, because you can't control the executive without controlling at least one other control point in a country. If we control the only other one there, no one else can do it. So nobody's gone for Canada yet. So let's try. We got a 74%
Putting our
chance.
people in place.
Let's see, it's a 45% chance with her. We're going to do one more public campaign
We'll make our appeal.
round to really
We must
solidify
persuade the people.
our station there. We want that. So we're losing in the
Public
research
sentiment
race.
is
I mean, that
increasingly
is what
with
it is.
us.
All right,
We're winning their hearts and minds.
you can assassinate and detain and screw with the other counselors as much as possible.
Our supporters are in place.
There's one for Canada.
Our presence
Look
is
at
growing.
that. Sometimes you just need a good roll. All right, so we're not going to do this for long. Eventually, you do want to take good care of your countries that you are in charge of. But right now, we just need money.
Standing
We
by.
really do.
Establishing control.
Where do you need me? I'm here.
Can we do 74%? We might
We'll
be
make
able
our
to get
appeal.
control of the U.S. so early. I've never done a game where I really hammer the U.S. immediately. I've done the EU, because the EU, like you can see, Project Exodus here already has 3 of the 4 control points in France, which starts the EU, and you can integrate France and Germany and Poland and all these countries here in Central and Western Europe pretty quickly. In fact, I'll bet by 2025 even the AI gets most of this consolidated down. Germany, France, Italy, maybe Spain, Portugal, Ireland, the Netherlands, and maybe Benelux here. Yeah, anybody making any moves anywhere else? Nobody in Russia. Interesting. Okay. So Jingshu, what do you want to do? Okay, what's my chance in? The reason
Making our
I'm going
case.
for Canada
only
and
hope.
not the U.S.
They are here to cleanse.
All right, so those are the other two. All right, here we go. Surveillance telescopes have detected a new alien fleet coming to low Earth orbit.
The trick is not to look directly at what you're
Yeah, we
trying
got
to
Skywatch done. What did they choose? Advanced electromagnetism. We're okay with that. We don't hate that. We might actually catch up here.
We've moved
Yeah,
the
we
needle.
did. I'll put you on permanent assignment, moving the needle
The
there.
people will come to our side.
In the U.S.
Our supporters are in place.
We've got our people in place.
All right, so we have Canada. All of Canada. Any good orgs that we want here? That's not fantastic. We're gonna see if we can get... I might be able to get control of the U.S. super early here. I mean, I can
What's the
just
op?
absolutely blast. All right, we'll go do the... I mean, I can blast.
Must persuade the people.
Ready for my mission?
So there's the investigate the alien crash site. You need to do that for the story eventually, but I don't think it's necessary to do on the very first turn of the game, personally.
Public opinion is
Here we
moving in
go.
our direction.
So we want economic development, space program and boost, military, international aid. So personally, I think this is a permanent boost that you get towards everything you do. I don't think you can go wrong choosing the economy priority here. You need to get your countries that you control strong no matter which one, especially if you choose India. You need to boost your GDP. The GDP that you have increases the number of investment points that you have, right? And these represent the nation's economic surplus that can be distributed, yada, yada, yada. Essentially, the more investment points you have, the more of the other stuff you can do. So it's the snowball effect, as you would expect with the economy. If you run this thing, the economy priority, you will increase the GDP of your country. That increases the number of investment points. That increases your ability to fix other stuff, which makes sense. If your economy generates a ton of extra money, you can use that money to go fix all of the other problems that you have, which is the benefit of the United States from the beginning of the game, right? If you take the US, you get 25 investment points. China's China has 32 actually, but it's harder to take control of because they're an authoritarian government with censorship, so your opinion is harder to get in there. But in the US, you get 25 investment points. And that makes it easier, like all these other things, right? Like a big problem with the US is it starts in a high state of unrest, right? Unrest is measured here. It's in subversion, right? Especially in 2022, coming out of COVID, a lot of unrest, riots and stuff going on. You need to increase its government. The main way you fix this, right, is you have a cohesion around 5, lower inequality, and a decent per capita GDP. This doesn't need to change. This is fine. Anything over 50,000 is fine. So you really need to lower inequality, which you can do by running the welfare priority. You can notice here in the US, it's not enough. And the spoils priority, which enriches the elites and your organization, is run higher than welfare. Also having a higher or a lower government score, being more authoritarian, can help with unrest. But the U.S. is, just in between a flawed and full democracy. I think full democracy is at 8.0. Is England right there? 8.1. Anyway, so this event here, you can pick what you get a permanent boost to, either economy boost or founding a space program, military and build army, or welfare and knowledge. I don't think you can go wrong. I don't think you can ever go wrong picking a boost to boost, right? A bonus to boost. This is super interesting that Humanity First is taking control of the UK. I love that because we are trying to fight the aliens and Humanity First is trying to eradicate the aliens and genocide them. There are buddies. There are crazy cousins who are a little too overzealous about this whole situation. We want to help them when we can. And we want to make sure that they have room to breathe, and we don't compete for the same stuff with them. We both want to be attacking the servants and the protectorate, and then using the initiative and Project Exodus when necessary. And the Academy will also fight the aliens on occasion. So we kind of want to sit in that middle ground between the Academy and Humanity First. But I think we're going to go for the economy priority here. No, the U.S.'s economy is already pretty good. And then again, everything. See, the thing is, when you take the U.S., like, the big thing you need to focus on here is getting inequality and government down. So I guess that does, but your research is so great right off the bat. I don't know that we really need more welfare. We'll be able to fix that pretty quick. We're going to go for economy.
Our
That's a
cause
good
is
all-around
unjustified to them.
Public sentiment
pick.
is increasingly with us.
Now, the reason we went for Canada and now we're going for
We found
Mexico...
We have found
Here we
something,
go. We get a
Commander.
little science. We get a little influence. So, the story for this game from the Resistance, basically, you start out obviously knowing nothing about the aliens, and you want to then go and figure out what the hell are they here for. Alright, so we want to get there. So we don't really care about fixing the government ranking. What we really want is to consolidate our control of the executive control point, which will take 165 days right here. Right? So that we can leave the Eurasian Union, because you can see we only get 0.31 boost out of Kazakhstan right here, and they're generating 2.5, right? So that's not good. We need more than that. We're getting 0.31 a month. We should be getting 2.5. We're gonna run, I don't even know that we need welfare. I think we're still gonna run a little spoils. I don't know that I really even need any of this at all. The beginning of the game, because you is all about setting yourself up for space flight. All right, here we go. So now here's the tech tree. We get to pick our first tech. I don't think that picking your first tech is all that important, because you need all of these, right? Like, you're gonna research the whole tech tree. Getting to the different spots of the tech tree at certain points is very important. A big one is getting down to being able to get your extra councilors, which is a huge boost in your power. So that starts at covert operations, I believe, which requires, oh no, which one? Which tech do you get? Clandestine cells. Yeah. I got those two mixed up. So covert operations is the 6th counselor, and clandestine cells is the 5th counselor. And we want a 5th counselor as quickly as possible. So we are not alone unlocks covert or clandestine cells, which we are. Can't even see that myself. We're getting there on that one, so that's fine. So we're already getting there on that. So then to get to quantum encryption, and one thing I really like, you can right click here and it'll pop up exactly the whole tree. So photonic, advanced carbon manipulation and photonic computing are what we need. But I actually think we're going to take advanced chemical rocketry here. Deep system skywatch is very important. Just in case no one else takes this, we're going to take it. And we're going to start splitting. We are not alone there. To make sure that we have everything that we need going on. We're going to check for level ups. Nothing quite. Oh yes, you can level up. Get your persuasion up again. What's this? So economy and spoils. I don't want to spend $600 on this, but this is really good. Not for now, but for later. 7% space mining output bonus is huge. Obviously, it doesn't do us any good right now when we're not getting any. What I'm looking for right now are primarily research organizations. Any organization that gets us more research. If we can get more persuasion, that's fine too. If we can get more influence, that's great too. But mostly what I want right now is a bonus to research so we can blast through this tech tree as quickly as possible. So now I'm going to assume that you can't do anything. Yeah, you have a 3% chance. So what do we get here? So we need 28 is what it takes. And we get, but look at this, we get 5.5. The family ties and demagogue help us, right? That's an extra 2. So we're already at 8 with John here. And then we get 9 and 10. If we dump 64 into, we're already at 23. So he needs to get, I would say, another 5. Popular support can get us there a little bit. Oh, a couple control points in Mexico will help even. Oh, Mexico's gone and defended. That's interesting. I normally don't see people defending their interests this early. Other factions. Okay, nobody has Italy yet. Right now, I'm thinking like, I mean, our goal is just to get the U.S., but like, what do we do in the meantime so that we have something to get research income from?
Standing by for orders. I will try to sway the public. I will tell our story.
Here's Humanity First and Hans Castillo. Great backstory. Basically, Mr. War Crimes. Love him.
We've moved the
Love
needle.
Humanity First.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Public opinion remains unmoved.
Not some great roles there. Anybody level up yet? You will in the next turn. I might dump our crappy celebrity. Not Jingshu, the other one, I think it was. Sure, we'll set that as a favorite.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
So
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Exodus is right on our butt. We really just want this finished. We don't care that much about whether we control it.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
Alright, so now... So, what just happened essentially was they instituted a crackdown. It's a mission that makes it easier to get rid of a control point. So I don't think it was the Academy. I don't know if it was the Academy or not. I'm assuming it was based off of the thing. But the basic flow to this game eventually will be you see another country that your enemies control. Like, let's say we wanted to take control of it from France, from Project Exodus. Well, we already established a use control nation to control an open control point, like Sweden right here has nobody controlling it. So how do you get control of the nation if you don't have, or if somebody else has control of the control point? And that is first you do, well, eventually you need to do a purge. That's this mission right here. It uses the espionage skill. and you spend influence to do it, to help out. But in order to, like, if we do this, if we look, like, to purge, we have a 0% chance. Even if we max out, we spend 64 influence, we have 0% chance. It's a very difficult mission. You see, it has a bonus difficulty of 3, in addition to all of these other things here. However, Crackdown is a much easier mission. It has no multiplier. Now, they are defending their interests, so we actually have a 1% chance. We can probably, 10% chance. For a big economy like France, that's good for somebody with only 7 investigation as a stat. So you use investigation, and you spend influence on this one too. So influence is super important, because you're going to spend influence on all of these things over time. But eventually the flow to the game for controlling nations is you send in somebody with high investigation to do a crackdown, then after the control point is cracked down, you send in somebody with high espionage to do the purge. And then you control that control point. But right now, see, boom, we have an 11% chance. You can go up to 9. So we can do John. We can spend 8. We're going to spend 16 influence with John.
Bringing them on
And then
board.
was it Jing Shu?
At your
9?
service. We'll bring this nation to our side.
One of those should hit.
The
The
people will
dreamer
come
in
to
me
our
wants to
side.
believe it would bring a golden
Alright,
age
so
of
there's We Are Not
advancement and
Alone.
prosperity for all mankind. But I'm a realist. I know better. Any race advanced enough to find us would be advanced enough to end us, likely without even regarding us. Commander Fiona Ayawade, NATO Symposium on First Contact.
So there you go. That shows you Fiona's point of view there on We Are Not Alone. So they selected orbital shipbuilding, a totally useless technology for us for a very long time, though obviously eventually we will use it.
Our case remains unheard.
So we're going to stick with you for just a little bit more.
We failed to take control.
Ugh, critical failure. Look at that. Not only do we not get it, but
We
frickin-
failed to take control.
I mean, that just stinks. Sometimes that's how this game is, though. Anybody good? A judge? Government, that's good. Firebrand, not that good. Anybody with high investigation or espionage or command is not bad. Steg here doesn't look terrible. And anybody with quick learner, see if anybody, innovative is really good. An engineer with innovative might not be a bad person to have. And he has 6 admin and 8 science. This is important. I shouldn't say important. This is helpful because you can use a counselor with high administration and high science to boost the investment points by a percentage based off of their administration ability, and their research income based off of their science skill. So 6 admin and 8 science right off the bat is a 6 bonus to their investment points, a 6% bonus, sorry, to their investment points, and an 8% bonus to their science. Also, he's only 25. Secondly, innovative here gives an extra chance for different research projects to unlock. Some projects in this game do not have 100% chance of unlocking. That represents the idea that, like, hey, you know, here's some science that we could use to make this thing, but it just never really pans out, right? Project manager, that always helps too. A little engineering project, pariah. Okay. Streetwise cynic. This is, yeah, you don't want him. I don't like somebody who's gonna be apocalyptic and a pariah. And like this is too many things that kind of cancel each other out, trait-wise. Another government. I don't like anxious though. I think you can remove that. Also 58. No. See, this game is long. When they talk about start a long campaign, they mean long campaign. It's very possible that this heads into the 2060s or 2070s. I hope it doesn't go into the 2070s. I hope we can win by the 2060s if I continue recording this the whole time. But if it heads into the 2070s, this guy will be 75 years old, right? And our other counselors, like, we're getting rid of Kiko probably, but like, he's 43, he'll be in his 90s, he'll probably die of natural causes in the late game. 52 will definitely die of natural causes in the late game. 40, well, we're getting rid of her. And 36, she'll probably be fine. You actually unlock some technologies that make your counselors live longer eventually, but for now, we're keeping... I kind of want this guy, but he's just not... Like, we don't need this right now. What we need, the important things to have in the early game, in the very, very early game, and if you notice this, I have mostly high persuasion people, you need a lot of persuasion, right? This is the first time I've ever tried to go super high persuasion at the very start and have 3 counselors that I'm gonna fire. Here we go, clandestine cells. We're gonna see if we can just keep control of or Kurtz. This is where I normally see them land.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
We still lack support.
God.
We were unable to establish control.
Do we want to stop COVID? Yeah, we have. All right, we have tons of money, and no new orgs are coming up. And like, I mean, I might take this for John here. Who else has high? I think you. All right, so it's 6 and 5 and 7 and 6. So we're gonna plug that on to John there, and we might as well just plug this on too. We have the money. We're gonna tone down spoils a little bit here, and we're gonna get all into found space program. Maybe we do a little bit of unity. So unity will increase public opinion towards your faction for every control point that you earn. I think this should come down off crackdown. Yeah, next turn or this turn.
We've moved the needle.
One of these should hit.
We've got our people in place.
We're taking over.
There we go. We love that. All right, now what do we want to do here? Let's start fixing the United States. We're going to start fixing the United States. We're just going to tick these a little bit down because we don't have control of everything anyway. And that's a huge boost. Let's see if we can see everybody else's research. 456, we're at 417. 264, don't know. 420, blaze it. And new orgs have become available. I love that. Spent 459 to get an extra 2 investigation on you. We're going to do that. And then another 1 investigation and 1 espionage on you. And you can level up. Can anyone else level up? Just you. We're gonna start pumping. Do we want to go admin? Do we want to go I think we're gonna go admin for now. So you need to get high espionage and high administration in somebody, because eventually you need to do missions, do 2 particular missions that we'll talk about eventually.
Ready to go.
That will require you to have a lot, and I mean like a lot of. I think we can fire you now. We'll use you to do
On the
that,
way to
and
the
then we'll
target
fire
site.
you on the next turn. And okay.
Establishing
Every
our
circumstance.
presence.
And this might put us over our control point cap, at which point we'll probably abandon Canada.
Our cause is
If it does.
unjustified to them.
If you go over your control point cap, oh shit.
Recon complete.
Actually, that means we can get this, and we can just get another.
We've gained significant support.
Look at that.
We still lack support.
So the Protectorate was trying to get into Kazakhstan, and now this is over. So now what we can do
Ready.
is somebody here has defend interests.
Your orders?
I think it's our pointless counselor, actually.
Reporting in.
Is it John?
Where to?
All right. We're going to defend
Protecting our
that.
interests.
Ready to
We're
go.
probably going to fire her now. Because you don't even have control nation. So, I mean, I can still use you to do other things. Do you have Inspire? You do have Inspire. Let's see who's here. A spy. We don't have enough to recruit him anyway. Well, okay, we're gonna wait. We're gonna
Ready.
Inspire John. So Inspire is kind of important because
I'll speak with them.
loyalty,
Ready for my mission.
a lack of loyalty can really screw you. And what I mean by that is there anybody I can investigate? No. I mean, Akari is just kind of, well, she has 9 investigation though, but she has absolutely terrible mission set. She doesn't have Crackdown anyway. I think we might have to ditch Akari here, unfortunately, because she doesn't have Crackdown. You need your high investigation counselor to have Crackdown. And Rachel here does. She's also government, so we can get all those. There's only 3. What about the investigator here? Don't like anxious. You do have crack. It's still not a great mission set. Admin. Anybody with high command? You're not terrible. 10 admin off the bat is not terrible. Get a ton of money. Good amount of money and influence. Kind of looks like Elon Musk. The character models are... They could upgrade those. They could upgrade those. Alright, we're not going to recruit anybody. We can't recruit anybody yet anyway.
Acknowledged.
I can't believe nobody else that I have has defend interests. Alright, let's just roll
Establishing
pretty
control.
much a coin flip. Give you a little money on a coin
I will
flip.
try to sway the public.
Maybe we boost the public opinion a little bit more.
Securing our interests.
I think we had a breakthrough.
Oh, that's nice.
Cleaning things up.
Sorry, my icons are here in the way. His
We're winning their
apparent
hearts and
loyalty
minds.
is 2. We should probably
With
investigate
each
him to
passing
see if
day,
that's
humanity
true.
shatters the boundaries of the possible. It is our certain destiny to move mountains at the touch of a button. We need only the will to do so. And your generous investment, of course. Chairman Soren van Wyk, opening remarks during Western Armory's annual earnings call.
Soren is hilarious. He is a absolutely unabashed,
We were unable to establish control.
crazy person. Alright, so we have 3 of the control points in the US, and we're pretty much up against our cap. We have 45 that we can abandon from Canada. And that would get us pretty much what we need to get full control of the US and retain Kazakhstan. Which is precisely what we're going to try and do. So, John?
Bringing them to our side.
At your service.
Is there anything else? We can find out what his actual loyalty is, which I feel like isn't the worst thing
Tracking
to do
target.
here. Stabilize
We'll
the
restore
US.
peace to this nation. I'll make sure they're on our side. I couldn't get through to them. I have new information.
Okay, so John's actual loyalty is 11. That's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Things
so,
are cooling off.
interestingly, in this game, everybody has both an apparent loyalty and an actual loyalty, and you have to investigate them to figure it out, right? And the lower their loyalty, the more likely it is that another faction will be able to turn them into a spy for their faction, which is bad. Then they know
Our
where
presence
all of
is
your
growing.
counselors are at all times. All right, we're gonna hold. So we have control of Deep System Skywatch. We got advanced carbon manipulation. I think we need advanced atomic manipulation next.
At your service. We'll bring this nation to our side.
Standing by for orders.
Let's just see what everybody else's is. Jingshu. Well, we can investigate somebody. We'll see who they
Investigating
are.
target.
I don't think this is super important, but we'll try it.
I'll ensure their loyalty.
So once you research a sir, like we're
I
locked
don't
in.
think I can change their mind.
So we don't care.
We've got
That'll
some
finish.
intel on our
Alright,
target.
so that's Victor Hugo Rabaucus. He's a servant.
Things are stabilizing.
We want to stabilize the U.S. Get that unrest down.
We're taking over.
All right, so you can see now we have 5 points, but we're 58 control points over. So what we're going to do, that tanks our influence. We have no influence now. We're losing 200 influence per month. So we're going to abandon Canada. And we're still 11 over. But it's worth it. We can get Canada back. We're still 11 over. I'll bet somebody can level up here. Yes. Kiko. Well, Kiko, you don't matter anymore. I'm going to ditch you and get somebody better. Maybe Raynor here? I didn't really love him, though. He's also 53. Man. None of these people are fantastic. Now that is a commando right there. When I look at this guy, I think he could fuck my day up. He's also only got 5 command for a commando. That is absolutely ass. Diplomat. What do you have? You have defend interest, which is important, but nothing else great. An operative with 5 command. Like, these are all terrible roles for counselors. I guess I will keep you. What do I want to add? I mean, mean, I guess I could just get another persuasion to make it easier for you to
Ready for my mission.
increase my public opinion. How long do I have until I finish this? January 27th of January. So this turn. We're just
Making
going to defend
things safe for our people.
I'm
our
here.
interests there.
Ready for orders. Where to?
What do I do with you? Anybody in? Nobody's in Russia yet. Anybody I want to screw with? Where are the servants at? They're not in China, are they? Nobody should be in China yet. Oh man, Humanity First is crushing it. Where are the servants? Man, they're stinking it up. The servants have nothing. They have Chile, Kenya, Myanmar, Tanzania. Humanity First is absolutely crushing it, having taken over all of England. The Academy always starts out pretty decent because the Academy normally has large starting roles to their public opinion. I don't know. Well, I think that's a good place to end it here for the first episode. I'll probably cut some of that out, but for the most part, this first episode will be just everything. I just played through that with pretty much no break. I don't think I'll edit too much out. I think the explaining that I did was probably worthwhile for most people who are unfamiliar with the game. The second episode and on will probably... Well, the second episode will probably have some minimal editing, but be another mostly straight playthrough. The third episode and on, I think we'll probably have the flow down there. Most people will understand everything, and we probably won't be playing straight through from the third episode on until we get to the point where we are using the space mechanics. Until then, this has been TGNA Plays Terra Invicta. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.